This is BS with Joe. News, culture, and crazy. One blunt conversation at a time. So the idea sounds harmless enough. One login for everything. Your taxes, your health records, your driver's license. One password to rule them all. Convenient, right? Until you realize the door it opens. This is BS with Joe and Brad.
That's right. Today we're talking about digital IDs in the US. It's already here. Most people haven't noticed it yet.
All right, let's start with the basics. Digital ID isn't just a username and a password. It's a verified digital profile built on biometric data, government records, real-time tracking. It ties your face, your fingerprints, and even your phone to your identity.
The sales pitch sounds great. Fast check-ins at airports, easy logins for tax portals. No more forgotten passwords. But behind that convenience is a bigger question. Who controls the system? Who decides when you're verified?
That's what makes this so slippery. Because the tech by itself isn't bad. It's the potential for control that comes with it. Once everything funnels through a single access point, whoever runs the gate owns your freedom to move, to buy, to speak.
And right now, the gate is being built in plain sight. Login.gov connects you to federal services. ID.me verifies you for unemployment or tax refunds. No alarms, no headlines, just slow, quiet rollouts.
Right. Think back to when fingerprints on phones first appeared. It was marked as security. Then came facial recognition, easier than a PIN. Now, that same logic applies to your identity itself.
Exactly. They start with convenience, then move into necessity. Remember when online banking was optional? Try finding a bank. A lot more brick and mortar banks have closed because a lot more people are banking online.
Right.
Now try living without it now.
Mm-hmm.
Digital ID is following the same path.
Right. They tell us it prevents fraud. It protects your information. And maybe it does for a while, but at what cost? If the system denies your verification, you can't work, drive, fly, or even access your money.
And there's no manager you can talk to, no window to knock on, just an algorithm that says access denied.
The key players are government agencies and private tech firms. Microsoft, MasterCard, IBM are all investing in digital ID frameworks. Each says they're building it for security. What they're really building is interoperability.
Meaning every database can talk to every other database. Your state ID connects you to your health insurance. Your banking app syncs with your tax records. And all of it confirms through centralized profile you.
Which sounds efficient, but efficiency isn't freedom. It's control wearing a friendly mask.
And you look at who's cheering it on. World Economic Forum, United Nations, IMF. They're calling for global identity standards. They want a system where every human has scannable digital presence by 2030.
That's not a conspiracy theory. That's written policy in their own documents. You can read it for yourself. They call it ID for all.
Yeah. Now add central banking digital currency, CBDC, to the mix. That digital money issued directly by the Federal Reserve. No bank in the middle. Every transaction traceable.
You get a complete picture of who spends what, where, and when. They can flag unusual activity, freeze your accounts, or restrict spending by category, all under the banner of protecting fraud or saving the planet.
Yeah, big banks will know when you buy that Second Amendment tool. Imagine when your car won't start because your carbon score is too high, or your grocery purchases are declined because it's red meat, not plant-based. That's not science fiction. Those systems exist in prototype form right now.
In China, citizens are already rewarded or punished based on behavior. Travel, loans, jobs, all tied to social credit. The technology is identical. The only difference is how much freedom the people have to say no.
You even notice how every big change follows a crisis. First in 2011, or 9/11, I'm sorry. And it was in 2011, 9/11. Security theater.
Yeah.
Then COVID, health passports. Every time people surrender a little more privacy for safety, those who would give up essential liberties to purchase a little bit of temporary safety deserve neither liberty or safety. That was quoted by Benjamin Franklin.
Exactly. We normalize it. First, it's a wristband for concerts, then a QR code for vaccines. Next, it's universal ID to protect democracy.
Fears sell compliance, and compliance is permanent once people get comfortable. We'll never get our freedoms back. We just forget what we have lost.
That's why this conversation matters, because it's not about paranoia. It's about pattern recognition. America still has some friction points that slow the rollout. Individual states, private banks, and legal pushback. But that's changing fast.
Federal grants are encouraging states to adopt digital license frameworks. Even airports are testing facial recognition and boarding. Florida, Texas, and California are all experimenting with versions of this.
So when people say that'll never happen here, they're already holding the device that makes it possible. Your phone is the gateway. The infrastructure is already done.
When you use facial recognition to log into your bank. Now imagine when you go to purchase something, you do the same thing with Apple Pay. Nope, declined, because you went over buying something or something. And in a minute, they'll all tie federal benefits and travel privileges to that digital wallet as well.
Yep.
You won't have the option anymore.
Your health records? Can you imagine going to the grocery store to buy a steak and you get to the cash register and it says, sorry, your cholesterol's too high?
Yeah, you'll have to buy stuff that has low sodium in it because they won't allow you to buy the regular stuff.
Right.
Because your sodium level is too high.
Yep. So there's a phrase I keep coming back to. Freedom requires friction. A little inconvenience is a small price to pay for independence.
That's the opposite of what tech culture teaches us. They tell us friction is bad. Friction slows you down. But friction is what keeps the gears from slipping, the tires on the ground.
Yep.
It's what gives you grip.
We forget that freedom isn't seamless. It's messy. It's paperwork. It's arguments. It's the right to make mistakes without being defeated by a system.
Once freedom becomes a user agreement, you're not free anymore. You've just accepted terms and conditions.
So what can we do? Opt out? The infrastructure is already there. But awareness changes behavior. If enough people push back, systems adjust.
Start local. Ask your state rep about digital ID pilot programs. Push for opt-in or automatic enrollment.
Not automatic.
Yeah. And keep your identity decentralized whenever possible.
Yep.
Separate passwords, separate logins, no single point of control.
I use the same password way too often.
I got an iPhone.
Yeah.
All passwords are all connected almost.
So support legislation that protects analog options. Paper ballots, physical IDs, cash transactions, those aren't outdated. They're safeguards.
Because the moment everything is digital, a single line of code can erase you.
Look, the technology isn't the enemy. Blind trust is.
Exactly. When people say, I have nothing to hide, you're missing the point. Privacy isn't about hiding guilt. It's about protecting your right to choose who sees what.
And once that choice is gone, so is democracy. Because democracy depends on individual autonomy, not automated approval.
We're heading towards a crossroads between liberty and efficiency. And history shows when comfort wins, freedom loses.
Keep your digital ID, but guard your human one, because they'll take the first to control the second.
Yeah, this is BS with Joe. I'm Brad.
And I'm Joe. Stay sharp, stay free.